What's up, guys? Episode something like 146 of the Always Race Day podcast. I'm Connor Ferguson here with Caleb Sloha and Noah Nilsson. This is the asphalt portion of the week. Potentially doing two. I don't know. I never know the schedule. We'll talk about that in a sec. Noah, you're the Rain Man on the podcast. Where would you go if you needed a new car?
Man, I tell you what, I would go right to the Karl Auto Group.
Damn, that's a good answer. This kid never misses. Only like one in every 10 times, and if Travis Quapple's at the same dinner table as him. But going to the Karl Auto Group, if you're in need of a vehicle, if you're in need of anything like that to get you from point A to point B, it will be at the Karl Auto Group. Someone asked me if they had tanks. They don't. Found that out the hard way. Because apparently I said on one of the ads that any type of car you want, any type of vehicle, they'll get to you. And I've known the guy for years, but he was giving me shit because I said any type of vehicle. So no tanks and nothing, no monster trucks. I don't believe they have go-karts. Don't quote me on that, though. But everything else, maybe.
You'll never know if you don't ask.
Yeah, you got the conventional cars they have covered for sure. I don't know any manufacturer or not manufacturer. I'm getting NASCAR in my head. But the Karl Auto Group will help you out. We appreciate them so much. I had to mention my buddy. He's been craving a mention during the ad read. So don't blame me. That's all I'm saying. Go down to the Karl Auto Group, get yourself a new car, and then you can shove it in my face and shut me up a little bit. How about that? All right, you guys want to get into stuff tonight? Tyler Reddick ends up winning the second race, the NASCAR playoffs this year at Kansas. Damn good finish to that. I guess Tyler said he just blacked out at the end and just passed people. I get it, you know. It's cool to see the
most relatable thing he's ever said.
Yeah, it's cool to see the execution there. I think a lot of people relate to that. At least I kind of do when I get into some sort of a groove and I look up and I'm like, man, 20 minutes has passed. I just wrote 1,000 words. Like, this is cool. Tyler Reddick wins Kansas. Second guy punched into the round of 12, and a lot to talk about from that race.
The one thing that I think is really cool is now that you have, since the 2311 team has came about, the 45 car has won at Kansas 3 times with
3 different drivers.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace and now
3 of the last
Reddick.
4.
Yeah, and what the other one was Denny Hamlin. So I mean,
yeah,
we don't have to venture that far out. But yeah, I mean that's just crazy to be able to do that with 3 different drivers in the same car too. And that was the thing too, is Bubba Wallace was fast at the beginning of the race. I mean, he was absolutely fast until he had the tire go down.
Yeah, and that's been the fault of a lot of drivers under the next gen car. I'm not going to bore you guys with the same rants from last week. We actually have like 3 new ones that we planned before the show. We came prepared today, something we don't do often. But I can't wait to get to all those. Bubba outside the playoff cutoff, so is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Sucks for me. I was rooting for both those guys. We'll see if either of them can come up with some magic at Bristol on Saturday night. But other than that, I mean,
Truex is the biggest surprise.
Yeah, I was mentioning those guys because I cheer for them. I don't necessarily cheer for Martin Truex Jr., but like on the top 10 ranking of like NASCAR drivers I'd like to have a beer with, definitely. He's there. How about yours, Noah? Does he make your top 10?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. I was just, as long as we have no no's on the show, that could have gone into another rant. But yeah, so regular season champion Martin Truex Jr. outside the cutoff after 2 races in the first round, 7 points. You can get that back winning one stage, but that's not a good place to be either.
No, and here's the thing. So what kind of upsets me is Truex, they determined it was a puncture in the tire. And one of my rants that I didn't tell you guys about, but one of the rants that I definitely have is Truex had a puncture in his tire. We saw Cole Custer, I believe, hit a piece of debris out on the track Saturday during the Xfinity Series. We saw Matt Crafton hit debris in practice, and he was pretty upset after the truck race that the track wasn't cleaned up enough before they were sent green. And I believe we had issues during Cup practice as well, where we had punctures in the tire. So kind of a bad weekend for NASCAR, and I feel like it really didn't get talked about in the sense that.
Hold on. Stop, pause.
What?
Bad weekend for NASCAR, bad weekend for Goodyear.
Well,
NASCAR spotters and Goodyear.
Here's the thing. It's not Goodyear's fault, though, if there's stuff on the track that drivers are running over.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. And I need to give the proper context to the people. Obviously, I covered the Cyhawk football game. That has encompassed my mind. I was made fun of in the press box at Jack Trice Stadium. You can tweet all the reporters, tweet them all. Just be like, why'd you make fun of Connor for watching dirt bikes for 5 minutes on Saturday before the game started? Okay, I apologize. Sorry to all of them. My bad. It's a cool, unique event going on. I didn't want to watch. I won't say what was on the field at the time. But Cyhawk game happened. Got back Sunday. We watched the World 100 Saturday night. We'll talk about that on the Dirt Show. I still have strong feelings about their format. That's a rant for a different episode. Sunday, I watched a little of the Vikings game. I was torn apart Sunday more than I was like Knoxville Nationals. Not that I worked harder, because I work my hardest 10 days of the year and my hardest 4 at Knoxville. But I was just like out of it. And I'm watching Kansas. I'm like, all right, Christopher Bell's looking solid. 100 laps passed and there's 60 to go or something. I'm like, okay, now Christopher Bell is the last guy who hasn't pitted. When are we going to come down pit road? Christopher Bell was my pick to win Kansas. Just that guy steps up in the clutch when you need him. I think he'll make the next round. I think it's going to be tough for Martin Truex to make it, but Bristol really, it's the biggest question mark on the schedule, honestly. They have one race a year. It's a short track. It didn't look like the other short track races last year, so I don't know what the hell's going to happen Saturday. Sorry, that was all just a coax to say I barely watched any racing this weekend, so don't blame me if I don't know the background or something.
So just a rough race of people hitting debris, and that's outside of the failures like Bubba just had a tire go down. Like we also saw a bunch of tires go down. But it's funny that you mentioned that Bristol is kind of like the we don't know what's going to happen race. But really, if you didn't watch, you didn't see the graphic that Fox or NBC put up at one point. And it basically talked about how the last 6 years of the fall Kansas race, 50% or more of the playoff drivers have been involved in an incident. And that's 50% is low. Like that happened a couple times, but it was up to 83% of the playoff drivers in a couple races had been in an incident. So Kansas is kind of weirdly becoming the track nobody can tame. It's just been a struggle in previous years.
That moniker belongs to the track before it, but I think we can brainstorm something for Kansas.
Oh, let's just do that.
Oh God.
Next 10 minutes are just me coming up with nicknames for Kansas Speedway. Okay. Danica never won Kansas, right?
Who?
Danica didn't win in anything.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go to her Twitter feed right now, by the way. It's pretty, it's bizarre. You thought Aaron Rodgers went off the deep end. We don't need to talk about her, but let's talk about her.
Let me educate myself real quick.
Okay.
Oh boy.
This should be good.
Do that.
Noah, you're on mute yourself for 2 minutes, and then we'll come back to you for a recap after the next point. Okay?
Okay.
Cool. God, I love having interns. Caleb, what the hell's up with Chase Elliott? We can keep this to 2 minutes. Okay, so
can we? Because
yeah, that's actually true. We should probably. This was a terrible move by me.
We should set a timer.
Oh man, dude, it's just bad. I'm a Chase fan. I'm a Chase supporter. I love everybody that drives for Hendrick. Yeah, Noah's face looking at this is Noah. Don't talk yet. Just wait. If you're on the YouTube, if you're watching on the YouTube, you're getting a treat tonight. But no, like I have been a Hendrick supporter for a long time. Obviously, my background with the driver of the 48 car and his photographer, like good friend of mine. I love, Hendrick Motorsports. I have since I was a kid. I don't put that in my reporting. I don't hide it on podcasts. That's kind of the whole. What do you mean? Caleb, don't give me that iffy thing. I don't. I will send a tweet to tick people off sometimes and troll a little bit. But it may mostly it's just like a coast to get people to laugh. So I've been a supporter of Chase, been a big supporter of Kyle Larson. They're both awesome. Kyle's fantastic for dirt racing. Love Kyle. I don't know, what happened between the Chili Bowl that Chase Elliott raced for Kyle Larson and flipped a bunch of times in the fence and today. But it feels to me like there's a little I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. I think there's some jealousy between Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson, and just Hendrick Motorsports, if you're listening, if you need someone to put them in a room, have some beers together, I'll be the guy. I'll take the fall for you. We'll do it. We'll iron everything out. I know what Kyle thinks is funny. I know what he questions. Let's do it. Let's get him in a room and let's iron these differences out, because Chase bumping Kyle off pit road while Kyle's in the playoffs and Chase isn't that's probably the worst thing Chase has done this year. I don't think admitting you wrecked someone on purpose is worse than that. Don't even get out of here, Caleb.
Right, rearing somebody is definitely worse.
Right, rearing someone at certain tracks and certain situations can be different than other situations. I didn't think his was terribly bad. And the snowboarding thing, I'm so over people bringing up that, in a year where you've questioned decisions like Kyle Larson, or not like Kyle Larson, like Chase Elliott. What do you mean question decision? Okay, you took someone out on purpose. That happens in NASCAR. It's happened multiple times this year. Sam Mayer was called a punk, liar, and tool. That was the first 3 tweets I read a couple weeks ago when he got Ty Gibbs, right? So there's people that take people out on purpose. That happens. He admitted to it. That was stupid. Dooring your teammate that's in the playoffs while you're not you cut his tire, you ruin his race. I don't care if he's locked in or not. I think it's the dumbest thing he's done all season.
So
I wouldn't call it that.
I think it goes beyond Kyle Larson. And that was my take. So for anybody that didn't watch, basically there was a point in the race where they were coming off pit road. Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott are next to each other. And then Brad Keselowski comes out of his pit stall, and swings out wide because I think he was, had a car in front of him.
Keselowski came out of his pit really wide, and Larson had to adjust his line. That's how he got into Chase, and then Chase, I guess, quote unquote, retaliated.
Yeah, and they didn't make much contact. But here's the thing that I have. Much like you're a Hendrick fan, I'm an anti-Hendrick fan.
I know. Well, no one doubted that.
But here's why, and I don't let it, bias. It's whatever. But here's the reason.
Yeah, Noah's face palming right now because to say like, oh, I just hate all these guys.
I'm fighting demons reading this Twitter feed.
Oh.
I made it back to May, and I'm absolutely flabbergasted. I can't. My brain hurts.
Okay, all right. We're gonna get to Noah really quick. Caleb, you finish up.
There's such like an elitist thing about them, but like.
What do you mean? No, dude. The New York Yankees are like times 10 Hendrick Motorsport.
I just sat and listened to you the entire time, and I can't even get a sentence in.
I'd rather have you stop me in the middle of mine.
Because I listened to you.
You gotta attack things point by point. That's how we get stuff done.
You don't listen to my points before you attack.
You don't get to make one at all.
If you let everyone start talking for hours on end and not saying anything in retaliation, and then cover all those for the next 2 hours, you're gonna miss some points. And that's how we have standoffs happen, like what's happening somewhere else right now that I can't report on.
Oh boy. No, so I mentioned
I
it
told you
last
guys I'm
week.
going to give you good info on this podcast. That's what I can say. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Caleb.
This is how we end up with 3-hour long podcasts.
Go for it.
So I mentioned it last week with the Bowman thing, where he got out and said, the crew chief flipped him off at the airport, which the crew chief says didn't happen, but he said, Suarez is dumb and never lift him, blah blah blah. But then goes and tweets and says, oh, I made a dumb move, which we said, he could have watched the replay. But then you have the deal where right after the pit road incident, the 5 crew chief comes over the radio and says, well, Keselowski just fucking sideswiped us and clobbered us. He didn't even touch you.
Oh, well, he almost did.
Almost, but didn't. Okay. And then you've got you've got that whole gaslighting thing going on, but then you've got, Chase Elliott pulling the Doring the teammate deal. And then here's the problem. If you're going to be frustrated with him, be frustrated with him. Then after the race, he goes to his window right away and talks to him. And then they interview Chase Elliott after the race and they say, well, were you trying to send a message to him? No, no message. So you didn't have any reason that you were during him? No. Stay behind your shit. Like, do what you do, say what you do, mean what you do. I'm tired of this.
Now,
they come out and strong, and then they backtrack.
You can't, but okay. So my whole point of the how stupid it was for them to, and I shouldn't say it's solely mine. Jeff Gluck first made this point back in March or April, I think. But you can't say what you did or what you think in NASCAR anymore because the people that have been penalized essentially. Now,
I mean,
admitting you doored somebody and admitting you wrecked someone on purpose are two different things. But there's a reason that. I still think Chase is also just playing down everything to the media. That's just what he's doing. I hate people that use the media, but in this conversation, every interview he does, he plays down everything about himself, his teammates, his competitors, what his actions were. I don't think he loves the attention. I don't think he loves being the superstar. And, NASCAR might have accidentally superstarred the wrong driver.
Well, but that's again the Hendrick fans. That's all of Jeff Gordon's fans. All of Dale Jr.'s fans are embodying Chase Elliott, and that is the problem.
Hold on.
Yeah, well, but no. So it does.
Yeah, hold on. My dad is violently towards Larson. Violently. He'll punch you in the face, Caleb.
They're not all that way, but that's why he's that famous / popular, whatever. But no, and that's why I think it goes on Larson because with 3 races before the playoffs. Chase was down to 200 points or whatever. And we talked in the podcast, he very easily could have made it in on points. It just didn't go that way, but he could have and really should have. But, then one of the media people asked him, okay, so, now at this point you're in a must win, blah, blah, blah. And his response was, I told you weeks ago I was going to be in this spot and I'm tired of being asked about it. You are the most popular driver. This is the story. This is the storyline. Of course, you're going to get asked about it. And I've said for a long time, Chase Elliott has such a neutral, boring personality. But this year, honestly, we've seen a negative personality, and it just is not it.
God forbid he has a bad performance season and not just oh, I got injured and suspended. What that'll do.
What are you saying? You should just be normal? Because I agree with that. Just be yourself. And it will go a long way for you. Look at Kirk Ferentz for the Hawkeyes football team. The dude has just given up giving a shit about what he says, and he's much more likable. Right? He was being accused of being a racist 2 years ago.
Damn.
All he's done is just said what's on his mind. From the start of this season to now, and the public perception of him is much different, much better. I get those. That's an apples to oranges comparison, and your facial reactions did not help me through that analogy.
No, the reason I laughed was just because like he's just said what's on his mind, and then like also intertwined with the people think he's racist, and I was like, well,
yeah, I was not pointing to the fact that he was saying racist things because they came to his head. That's not what happened whatsoever with Kirk Ferentz. I can attest to that. I talked to him at Iowa Speedway during the IndyCar race. He's a good dude. He's fine with me. I haven't heard anything like that. I'm just covering my bases here. But yeah, like Chase, just be normal, buddy. Like, be a pal, be a friend. Just be okay. And I do think, I think he's a bit of an introvert. Doesn't necessarily want this attention, but a change needs to be made. He was saying like the best his car could go is third place. Like, that's not right. You're at Hendrick Motorsports in the number 9 car. No, the best your car can go is first place. That's how it needs to be. That gave me more evidence of a change needed than the bad strategy call at Watkins Glen, to be honest with you guys. Like, I don't know. I can't say anything more about it. It's like, yeah, they should have cars that are capable of winning. And I get it's a new car and everything like that, but man, the fact that they didn't win a race in the regular season is nuts. Absolutely nuts.
So on that topic, somebody did a graphic, and I should actually.
I don't want to look at another depressing graphic.
No, listen.
I liked it better when I was pretending to not be a Chase Elliott fan because of how good he was doing.
Came from Trey Ryan 99 on Twitter. So they went through and put all 3 manufacturers the laps led in the next gen car at every single track. And I want your guys' guesses on, there's one track that Toyota has led 0 laps at, and there's 2 tracks that Ford has not led at. Chevy has led laps at every single track.
This year or just next gen overall?
Next gen overall.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
So what is the one track that Toyota has led 0 laps at?
Every IndyCar race.
He's got it.
Thank you, Noah.
Right, I have not seen a Toyota lead a lap in IndyCar.
Same here, Noah.
That's true.
Spot the lie, killed.
Since the next,
think back to the last.
This is definitely a Noah question. The fact that you posted the group before we did our mental exercise here is you're throwing off Noah's head. Okay, I'm
having to abandon all of the insane Danica Patrick tweets in my brain.
Yeah, this is a 2 intern question, and you're giving Noah before he can give us the recap we all want.
Golly, so a track that Toyota's led no laps on, and 2 tracks that Ford has led no laps on. My guess is that Toyota hasn't led laps at. Okay, are you counting Bristol Dirt as Bristol?
There's Bristol and then there's Bristol Dirt, but I'm going to tell you.
Didn't Tyler Reddick win at Bristol Dirt, or not win, but lead laps?
All 3 manufacturers have led on both Bristols.
Okay, so there goes that guess.
Okay, so Bristol's out, Daytona and Talladega are out. That's like 15 tracks.
No kidding.
Chicago Street Race, that is one of the Ford ones.
Yeah, that is correct.
Fuck it. Yeah. Dude, I surprised myself. I didn't think I'd get any of those. So
I really,
first
that
guess
one,
being right.
I'm kind of surprised I didn't think of that one. That one's pretty on the nose. Toyota at Road America?
Nope, Toyota has led laps at
Reddick America. Led laps there, didn't he?
Guess what? It's 1 lap.
Oh, come on.
Toyota has led 1 lap at Road America. I'll even help you. They've only led 2 laps at the Roval and 3 laps at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, we're really down to like 14 tracks now.
Chicagoland,
that's another one.
What was that one?
Chicagoland.
Yeah.
They got a dirt bike race this weekend. As far as I'm concerned, it's basically a NASCAR track again.
Think about how the championship's gone the last couple of years.
Ford hasn't led a wait, that's not true. Nope, don't say that. Nope.
Wait,
I forgot.
It's not Phoenix, right?
No.
Ford shot.
Joey literally won the title last year.
Yeah.
We're talking about Toyota.
So Toyota's not led a lap at Phoenix in the next gen car. at all, ever, period.
Nope.
What the hell?
Caleb, you're such a douchebag with your hints. Like they're so obvious. It's like it's a track that starts with P and ends with X. That's what you're looking for here. And everyone was like, huh? Pocono?
Connor says, but Joey Logano won there.
Talladega. Yep, there we go. That's it.
P is silent. All right, so for the other Ford one, it is 1.5 miles.
Texas. Yeah, I just threw Texas out because I hate it, but which makes me sad because it's like basically my home track, but Texas is garbo.
Your home track is the Chili Bowl. Number 2, Texas is the best IndyCar track that is Speedway or Indianapolis.
Yeah, it's a dog shit NASCAR track.
That's
which makes me sad.
I'll sit through 1 or 2 races a year at Texas, especially if one's on the Roval. The NASCAR 2003 Roval or 2007, whatever the damn NASCAR 09 is 09 Texas Enfield, that one.
Texas Enfield
on that race.
God.
Yeah.
So 1.5 mile track that Ford hasn't led at.
It's not Michigan. No way.
Michigan's a 2 mile.
It's not the Coke 600. MTJ won that. It's not Atlanta.
No, we're talking about Ford now.
Is it Atlanta?
We're talking about Ford now. Because Toyota has only not led laps at 1 track. Ford has not led laps at 2.
Okay, no, I don't know why I did that with Joe Gibbs. See, Caleb, these mental exercises break my mind.
Okay. And he was over here saying your hints are too easy, but you can't.
You didn't give a hint for this one. Let's see. No, let's see this.
1.5
miles. Give a hint. You literally like 90% of the tracks we have eliminated. 90% of the tracks left over have been like all of them not 1.5 miles.
That's your other hint.
What is it?
This one's not like the other ones.
If you're saying it's Darlington, I'm gonna hit you.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
Okay, good, because Darlington's not 1.5 miles. Good. Damn, Jackie. I'm like looking around my room.
Oh shit! I'm looking at a fridge with sprint car stickers on it. I have no clue what that.
1.5 miles. That's not like the others. That's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
My brain immediately goes to Chicago, but you know.
No, an active track.
A track that is real. Yeah.
When you think about it, all the 1.5 miles are always D-shaped.
There's no way it's Atlanta, right?
No, Ford almost won. Ford's won Atlanta with Logano this year.
I'm saying this makes me look really dumb.
Well, that's okay. I kind of forgot Joey won the title last year.
Thank God. Yeah. No, we this has been the worst podcasting minute and a half.
Yeah.
What is it?
More than that, but it's Homestead.
That's so stupid.
This is a janky ass Family Feud episode, man.
Yeah. No, Homestead doesn't count as a real racetrack until they're the season finale again.
Yeah. God, what a banger track.
I'm so out. I'm so out on this card.
Danica Patrick's Twitter feed. That's
yeah. Okay. No, let's get this.
All right. So, it started off, pretty tame. I was like, like you're just talking about climate change, whatever. People do that. Cryptocurrency. It's titled Muddy and Murder, and I'm like, you're getting a little warmer.
Hold on. This I got to stop you here. But you see climate change and cryptocurrency on a Twitter bio, and you go, yeah, that's fine. People like that stuff. That's your reaction.
It's Twitter. It's the internet. I don't know.
Cool. This is Danica Patrick's Twitter, just so everyone's aware.
Yeah, I mean it's certainly not what you would expect from a retired race car driver. I mean, most of them just go the real estate route, but
Karl Edwards almost did that.
Karl Edwards almost went into the government. He also kind of has a weird little thing going on. but yeah, then you start talking about let's see. Health is freedom kind of stuff. Oh, okay, I get you. NFL's a brutal sport. Then we got into the weird stuff. Okay, this is where I start putting my face in my hands, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" This funny guy here. He remembers past lives he has lived that are not human, alien civilizations that our spirits can choose to live in. Earth is not the only show in town. And it was at that point I decided that this cherry Pepsi was not strong enough for the shit I was doing tonight.
No, what's your take on if someone told you that they had remembered an unhuman life they had lived before?
I'm going to tell them to shut the fuck up immediately.
That's no fun. That's not very nice. No, let's rework that.
No, dude. Look, man. Okay, if it was somebody I know, like a close friend of mine, I'm gonna do that. But like a normal, like rational, I don't know. I just think that while I'm open to other ways of thinking and other ideas, there's just some stuff that's kind of out there for me, man. I don't know.
No, this is way too politically correct for what I thought I was getting.
I just really. You're sitting here, you're going to look at me and my eyeballs, my funny little guy eyeballs here. And you're going to tell me like, oh yeah, I remember. Yeah. That's why I'm like, no, shut the fuck up. You don't know. No, you're
saying Area 51 is closer to the real home of the Monster Jam World Finals and not aliens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, aliens aren't real, like ever, period. But like also until I see it happen, whatever. I don't know, Now, yeah, like that was like, oh my God. And then we take another swipe down the Twitter feed here, y'all. And yeah, we're talking about Lucifer, we're talking about the devil, man. What the fuck?
You got to give a better recap. I don't know what you're talking about. You're just saying things. This is all straight from Danica Patrick's Twitter feed.
All right.
I don't think he had more than 15 tweets to look at.
I'm just gonna read this dialogue that I'm watching right here. Okay, that I watched already, but I'm just gonna read it. Is falling on deaf ears for so long. The whole thing where no, those are contrails, and when controls last maximum 7 seconds in the atmosphere. And you can actually see that, they turn on and off, which ends that debate right there. This has been going on since the 40s. Weather modification, weaponizing weather. What the fuck? What kind of, I will still give Aaron Rodgers the point on the crazy scale, but they were made.
No way. No way you give Aaron Rodgers more of a point than Danica Patrick.
Out of his fucking gourd, dude.
75% of the things Aaron Rodgers says are to piss off people in the media
and I'm still allowed to call him insane for that.
Yeah, you could. I was talking with Chris Krug on Twitter today about how the kids they're hiring, I call them kids because they're some of these captions that all these big companies will post highlights. We do it too. We post highlights, share highlights, and when it comes from the Always Race Day account, it gets more interactions. And that's why, if you've seen us do it, I try to credit the creator, and if not, it's linked in the video, and I always try to do that. But these corporations are hiring these people to caption videos, and the Fox College Football account posted a thing that's like, don't mess with the bull, you'll get the horns with Travis Hunter, something along those lines. That wasn't the exact caption. And it's a video of Travis Hunter getting blown up, getting off balance. And instead of just falling down or like leaving him alone, he takes the Nebraska player's face mask and drags his helmet and throws the guy's helmet to the ground.
Yeah.
And it's like, how is this video supposed to be about Travis Hunter? Or you're just very strategically trying to get clicks on Travis Hunter's name. We're never going to, for us at Always Race Day, we're never going to go clickbait with stuff like that. And if you see us do it, comment, please. I sure hope that never happens to what we're doing. But these corporations are doing this deal that it's like, if you mention the Nebraska player's name in that video, you're not getting near the same amount of interaction. And a lot of people quote tweeting it and going, you idiot, like Travis Hunter got blown up here. That's more interactions. That's more quote tweets. That's more this or that. And it sucks. But yeah, Danica is obviously also trying to profit off that stuff. So.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
this was less fun with Noah. I think we should do this with Josh.
Do you think that we are living in a simulation? Have you ever wondered if AI will develop feelings? Do you think that time is speeding up? This sounds like my inner monologue when I'm trying to go to bed. These are not
That's the stuff you think when you're trying to go to bed?
Although to be completely truthful here, my brain sounds like TV static and microwave noises when I'm trying to go to sleep.
Yeah,
like I'm just staring. I'm like, what? Hello? Like I need to go to bed. It's 6 hours till I got to be at work. Like,
dude, for some reason, I think about fire trucks before I go to sleep. There's some Family Guy scene out there that's like similar to that. I don't know why. Don't ask.
I almost
I used to count Cubs players, then Tom Ricketts pissed me off. It would just make me angry, and I end up going to take a poop. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube or Spotify, but
is the universe infinite? Just how many dimensions are there? And then I got an ad that says the PlayStation Portable is 18 years old. It made me feel even worse about myself.
I really want to get Danica on the show to get her take on if the universe is infinite.
I've talked way too much shit. I don't know if that's a good idea.
What is Danica going to do? Hop through the laptop and hit you?
I don't know, man. If
he's doing like one podcast every 2 weeks, I think we're in. If we can find who's setting these up for her, I think we're in. There's no chance she listens before, and we'll have 3 episodes cushioned.
Oh yeah, then there's the thing about the wormholes. There's a wormhole discussion on there. There's evidence of aliens altering our DNA apparently. 250 million years ago or 250,000.
This is all. How far back are you?
I'm back to June.
This isn't to May yet.
And then sex magic technique on June 7th, and that's where I was like, I got to stop scrolling.
No, I need you to recap that.
All right, so the caption on this tweet says, governments have never wanted us to understand the power we have to heal ourselves without paying for the privilege. Learn your superpowers.
This is about sex?
Yeah, sex magic is utilizing your sexual energy for magic.
Gotcha. So next time I tear my ACL playing hockey, then I will just go have sex.
Healing, amplifying your personal power, creating a dream, actualizing the vision. I've done this practice at every... Okay, yep, that's enough for me. I'm not finishing that.
When you say that, you're scared to say it on here.
I've done this practice at every position. Just feels like a loaded sentence for race cars. Oh my goodness! Wow, So then we get back to May, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm gonna get.
Surely there's an Indy 500 tweet in there.
Oh God. Oh well. I'll dig. You guys fill some time. I'll dig.
Hey, if you're listening right now, I'm so sorry that I'm keeping Noah on this thing. Caleb is pissed off, as any listener should be.
Man, Pretty Intense was a great title for that podcast. That shit's making my chest hurt.
I hope some Danica Patrick super fan who's been tracking her life on a podcast just rips us to shit next week.
Human mating strategies, that went back way too far. There's no Indy 500 tweet. Her entire feed is just her podcast and clips of it.
All right. Well, had the chance to grow racing, did not decide to do so with the Indy 500. So we're gonna dump the Danica recap. That's the end of that. Good job, Noah. That's decent. I really want to do that with Josh and see what he thinks. Don't tell him.
All right.
Next time he's on, we'll do that, Caleb.
Unless Caleb's already texted.
It'll have to be a Connor, Noah, Josh. Noah, actually, Noah, I'm going to have you be the reminder guy. I'll text you reminders, but the first time that it's me, you, and Josh, we'll have Josh do it.
All right.
You should definitely record it, and then when you're done, just delete it.
Josh's reaction to it is going to be much funnier. He won't want to say the words in any of the tweets.
Yeah,
like he's like, global warming, that's a little dirty for me.
So IndyCar.
Yeah, IndyCar was a...
Wait, hold on. I had a stat. You guys know that Jesse Love has 2 Truck Series starts this year and more top 10s than Haley Deegan has all year?
It's got to be the car.
That was Caleb's stat. Caleb said he wanted to do this, and I just set him up for it. So I got to give him credit. Caleb's stat. Caleb, why don't you run your Danica Patrick little ass, run your mouth.
Well, it's definitely the car that's the problem, and not the fact that all of her teammates are in the playoffs and she's not. But
hey, one of those cars wanted
Deegan?
What?
Is it time to hit the panic button on Haley Deegan?
Yeah.
Dude, that's an infamous line for you. You have to just use that. I'm telling you right now, from this point on, everyone you have an issue with, you need to say that.
My God.
We
already did
keep
finish
saying it
with
for
the
you, and you
points.
look at us like we're stupid. So I need
You get a
Chris
really,
to
really delayed.
run
Caleb
with.
was right, but
And where did New Garden finish in the points?
Not last, not out of the top 20, not out of the top 10, not out of the top 5.
finished the whole season intact completely.
Yeah, less injuries than last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
better
right.
mental space for sure because he's more mature. Everyone matures with age, right? Except Danica Patrick.
So this weekend was the IndyCar finale at Laguna Seca. Kind of a disaster. Scott Dixon ended up winning the race.
You didn't even rant.
We are well beyond that at this point.
That's okay. That's fine. But I went to an effort to bring it up because you said you were going to rant about it.
There's not much more to say other than Haley Deegan doesn't have much talent.
She's got fans, so that takes a long way in the sport. And yeah, we'll see if she gets better. Give her, honestly, like just give her time. And if it's evident it's not working, it's not working. Now, I do think, like in comparison, Danica Patrick got too many years at Stewart-Haas. It set them back. So don't set yourself back to keep a driver in the car because they're female or because they're something, even if they're homosexual, other stuff. Go get Kaylee Bryson. Go get Jade Avedizian. She's ripping it up on dirt this year. Wait, Caleb, stop doing the Johnny Manziel money fingers while I'm doing this.
No, because
we are all of us are contributing to make all these clips unclippable.
It is not the fact that she's a female that ThorSport has her around. That's
Monster money is what you're saying. The sponsor money.
Well,
I don't think Monster's even been sponsoring that truck this year.
There's rumors that they might be not, doing as much with her anymore, or potentially going away from her. But what I'm going to say is my favorite thing ever, besides her fans blaming the crew chief and the car, which is just not true.
Okay, well, you got to understand, like the fan base is like Instagram commenters. It's Chase Elliott fans dialed down a bit.
My favorite thing too is people will always like.
No, I'm being nice to them. I'm being nice.
Yeah.
I'm being nice. Don't worry.
I was thinking too much about it.
You're good.
Her fans will always tell criticizers, "Well, she's out there and you're not." Okay, well, if my daddy was rich, I could be out there too, but unfortunately, he's not, so I'm not. That's not an excuse. It's bad. The experiment needs to be over. Her fans want her to go to Xfinity because they're making excuses that the truck drivers are just too idiotic and she can't succeed.
They are. I will give you that. They are. The series needs an overhaul of, hey, we got to start like crunking down on talent here because everyone wrecking is not a byproduct for learning nor success.
Here's the thing, though. I don't even know. Like, here's the thing. I agree with you, but the thing I'm going to direct you to is, so she's in a top tier truck, but the truck series is so bad. That's why she can't get a top 10 because all those drivers are just so bad. But Jesse found a way to do it twice in 2 races. It's where she's putting herself on the track. That's the problem.
This is a weird hill for me to kind of start dying on because I do agree with you in the end. However, what did Johnny Sauter do in that truck previously the last like 2-3 years that makes you think that was like
he got a penalty for wrecking someone under caution at Iowa Speedway.
That's the only thing we remember him doing though. You know what I mean? Like he after he left GMS, he kind of had a couple races where he was competitive, but he really wasn't all that great in that truck either. Not saying that Deegan should be.
Wasn't he a ThorSport?
After GMS, because he did ThorSport and then GMS and then ThorSport again, and his last stint with ThorSport wasn't nearly as good. And so Deegan's in the 13 now, not putting up probably numbers that are close to what he put up, but probably not quite as far off as maybe we would remember either.
And sorry, I wasn't saying Haley Deegan wasn't there. I was just confused at where Johnny Sauter's career path went.
Yeah, no, he's been everywhere. That man was in Cup. That man was with Childress in Cup.
At one point, he was like the modern day Todd Bodine.
Yeah,
Johnny Sauter had 8 top 10s to her 1.
Okay, yeah. See, and it could also be that my head is full of like wood chips or something, and I don't remember that. But
I wouldn't suspect that after the Danica Patrick Twitter profile.
His
shake it all out.
his last full year was a pole, 5 top 5s, and 8 top 10s.
Which in like what 23, 25 races. I mean,
Yeah, give me 1
23.
second.
yeah.
So I'm looking too. So in his second to last year, he had again 8 top 10s. So her one is not it.
No, yeah, I mean, she's definitely not like meeting expectations. Yeah.
Especially because, okay, so you look at that and like, what were his teammates doing in those years? Because there was a period where, yeah, ThorSport like didn't have the strongest trucks, but like
Unless your name's Ben Rhodes.
well, that's true. All of her teammates are out there
I got a
winning
fact check.
races
Hold on.
and getting top 10s, and like all these drivers all the time are managing to still get good finishes. Like I don't buy the excuse that for 17 races, she couldn't figure it out more than once to get in the top 10 with a top tier truck.
Yeah, it's tough. You don't want to put a ceiling on someone's career or anything like that. I just think you need to, whether it's in a different truck or somewhere else, different series, basically, go practice some more.
Okay.
And emphasis on different truck. Like, I think she can be fine in the truck series. Go learn more. Go have another season under your belt if you can. Obviously you have some backing behind you. And if not, you have Hayden Deegan's backing with you if they like you at all. So, I don't think Haley Deegan's a bad person. Nothing like that. I don't think she's absolutely abhorrent. I don't think she has said anything that has really ticked me off in the last season. And her and Chase, is it Chase Caber? Is that who? Cabry?
Yeah.
Their YouTube videos are fantastic. Like honestly, I think are they still together, Noah?
I don't know.
Well, you're our pop culture guy at this point, so.
Oh God, that's scary.
I figure they're still together. The last one I watched was probably months ago. But their videos together are fantastic, just in terms of like they sound like a very cool couple, very nice people. And I think we needed to say that with this. But yeah, go find a different team and go learn, or stay with the same team and figure it out. I don't know. I don't know what the issue is there, or what's going on, but yeah, you need more than one top 10 in the truck series to be able to move up to Xfinity.
And I do have a little bit of a fact check here for you guys. I did look it up. So Johnny Sauter in the 13 truck, 2019, I mean, he split it basically with Snyder, like 99% to 1%. Snyder made one start, which was the start where Sauter was suspended. Sauter was 6th in points in 19, 15th in 2020, 13th in 2021, his last full-time year. So his teammates in that span, Crafton won the championship in 2019, and then he's got finishes of 5th and 4th after that. Ben Rhodes, 2019, he was 9th, 2020, he was 7th, and 2021, he was 1st. So that's 2 titles in that period of time for ThorSport that Sauter was still driving for them at the tail end of his truck series career. So not, obviously 15th and 13th, he got suspended. He got suspended for a race and still finished 6th in points. Not saying Johnny Sauter is not a good race car driver. Obviously, Johnny Sauter is a fantastic race car driver, but his performance as far as the points finishes go, not nearly as good as his other teammates in that span of time. So maybe that 13 trucks is the kind of the black sheep of the ThorSport family, but I'm playing devil's advocate at this
point. I'm not agreeing. Don't agree, because he was on his way out. He was on his way to retiring or racing less.
I say that, but I think Deegan's only beating 2 other full-time drivers in the points.
That's probably a better stat. I mean, you screwed the pooch on this whole thing to not mention that first.
Because I don't know if that's I don't know how accurate that is, but I think that's what I had seen
Well,
earlier. So,
hold on 1 second.
Like I said,
Truck point.
I'm not trying to say Deegan's a world beater and that I think that she, is currently earning her keep in the Truck Series. I am also just trying to contextualize the results a little more in the landscape of her team and playing a little devil's advocate there. However, yeah, she's been pretty bad. ThorSport should probably just cut a truck down because, I mean, Connor Jones and his starts in the 66 hasn't set the world on fire to my knowledge either. I think they might just axe that program and cut it down a little bit.
you may as well keep her if she's bringing money to the table. I mean,
that fair, and it sucks. That's number one gripe about racing is that's where we are. But nothing you can do about it. You're gonna yell at a cloud all day if you do that. But
you can't that's the thing with that is you aren't going to fix that.
Of course.
You can't limit, hey, we're going to pay for this guy in this team to run. Like, you can't do that. Even when Vladimir Putin was helping fund Haas Formula One team.
Yeah.
See how I didn't use plurals there in the singular and vowel form? That's Formula One talk. That's how they talk over there. They don't really know how to speak grammar wise. Not
something
a bad thing.
The paddock. Anyway.
Yeah.
I saw your tweet about that earlier this week.
Which one?
Where they were talking about not.
It was.
paddock.
Oh, I didn't mention that on the last
Vegas.
episode. Yeah, they were. So they're saying that they might call the paddock something different because, and this is if you are tired of me hating on F1, this is for you. Go make out to the podcast wherever you're listening to it. Do whatever you need to do with your ears to hear this. They're talking about calling the paddock something different because the mass shooter in Las Vegas, his last name was Paddock. I didn't even know if that's how it was pronounced. And they're talking about how it's very offensive for F1 to have that be the phrase of what they call their garage. Now, while I think that you should just call it a garage at IndyCar too, call it a garage, that's what it is. It is not, paddock means literally nothing to me as a person who was going to have his website be named Paddock Fanatics. For about a week and a half, we had planned on that name and we changed it to Always Race Day at the last second. Thank God. Thank God.
You'd have never lived it down otherwise.
No, never. Absolutely not. But it is
only F1 shilling for you at that point.
It is such a reach to hate on F1 for having this thing that has been named for years and years and years. It's just, it is absolutely insane. Just like dirt midget racing, the cars are called midgets. Just like 10 and under hockey is still called midget. Okay, I'll just do this. This is the point I'll make to it, and we'll move on. There's people that have said the F slur in front of me. I'm gay, if you didn't know. People who have said it in front of me, people who have said it about me. There's intent to say it at you, and there is, hey, I'm making a joke, not directed at you. Times for both of them. There just is. Sometimes it is funny to me. I'm not like everybody. Not everyone likes that. I don't love it, but there's times where it does come off very hilariously if you're phrasing it right and doing whatever.
The key word is tact.
Right. So if you're saying it at me, like, obviously I'm not going to like you and we're not going to have a good time in the next 5 minutes. But yeah, that sounds threatening. Jeez.
I mean,
yeah. No, but anyway, what I'm saying is, like, this thing has been called that. It obviously isn't like a shout out to the mass shooter. Like, I don't understand how people even like draw that conclusion. My whole bit is that I go to extreme lengths to hate on F1 because of the shitty things they've done against NASCAR, against IndyCar, against entertainment. They suck. Like, the product sucks ass. But you can't tell me you're offended because they've called this the paddock for years and now they're going to Vegas and they need to change it. That's stupid as hell. I hope that was articulated well enough because, goddamn, I get enough hate. Why do you hate F1 so much? And I got to explain the whole damn thing again. I got a list at this point. It's on my phone.
People's names have power if you refuse to say them. And a terrible scumbag human being like that
Completely
should
agree.
not be allowed to have power over you or your sporting events or whatever in that sort of way. We should not be afraid to continue living and continue things, like calling the F1 garage the paddock because somebody horrible did an incomprehensible thing.
Yeah,
And
I completely agree.
yeah, so that's kind of my point on that as well.
Let's wrap this up a little bit. So IndyCar, I think it's been the last 2 years, if not just last year, has had their preseason testing at this like country club gated community type deal that is the Thermal Club out in California. They're going to have $1 million to win race out there, exhibition race, non-points next season. Sounds like the All-Star race, but I think it's just going to be an exhibition. I don't think it is going to be a standard all-star race. There's not going to be qualifications to get in. It sounds like there's going to be 2 heat races. The top 6 of them will go, and then they'll have a 12-car A main, basically. No B main, I don't think.
Very interesting. Yeah, we'll have to see. So they're talking about like next season, or are you talking about like
2024?
Okay. Now, like January, February 2024?
I think it's March, honestly.
Oh, okay. So
but
yeah,
none of this has all been widely reported. None of this has been announced officially, like this is the date we're going there, this is what's happening. I believe it might be confirmed that it actually is happening by IndyCar. My bad prep work by me. I've been talking to recruiting guys all day from Cyhawk weekend and stuff, but I believe the only thing nailed down is there will be an exhibition race at the Thermal Club paying upwards to $1 million.
That'll be exciting. It'll be a good entertainment for the off season.
Yeah, I'd rather have a race there than preseason testing. They better make it available on Peacock. That's all I'm saying. Don't even screw with us. Don't even try to not have it be available. The whole point of doing this race is to get people interested in IndyCar, just like they are down there at the Thermal Club, and that's part of why they buy their memberships there. Better have this shit available to the people. Otherwise, we're going to have a conversation on the rich and poor that's kind of happening in Ames, Iowa right now, a little bit with the football program. Not program, I should say. Game day experience, maybe. It's a better term for that.
Yes.
Thanks, Noah. Okay, I've been doing the pauses to see if Caleb and Noah picked up on like, hey, you can talk now if you got something to say. We don't have a sign for like nothing yet, so
no applause sign or anything.
We'll clean that up.
I don't know where to go on the ISU game day experience.
No, that's what I was doing a. We harp on F1 for having the Las Vegas tickets cost as much as IndyCar's entire season did. Grandstand tickets for Formula One Las Vegas cost more than it costs to go to every single IndyCar race all year. Nuts. Stupid. We harp on. This Thermal Club thing, the preseason testing hasn't been available on Peacock. Get it on stream. Yeah. Get it somewhere. Get it live on YouTube. Don't give a shit where it's at. I'll go watch it. But you'd better fucking get it there, especially if you're having a race instead of just preseason testing. That's all I'm saying. IndyCar Race Control this weekend called, Caleb told me, 34 penalties during the race. Now, I'm not accusing IndyCar of listening to this podcast. I would never do that. I'd never subject anyone from IndyCar to doing that. I said, like, it's the least consistent that they've ever been the last race. God damn, I didn't say just call every penalty. That's the shit I hate about Formula One. That's 34 fucking penalties. There's no reason to call 34 penalties.
Did you watch the race?
I did not, but no. After you got past, stop, Caleb, stop.
No.
Stop, Caleb. After you get past 20 penalties, I was like, that's enough. That's when I wrote it down on the list. Like that. No, there's entirely. Yeah,
All right.
all your race, do your thing. How the fuck was there 34 penalties? And why are you defending it now? Because you didn't seem too pissed about it earlier when I said that.
Because you can't just go and say, "Oh, they overreacted," when you don't even know what happened.
Okay, but what am I supposed to gather from you had 34 penalties in that race? Are you shitting me? That's
No, okay. So
15 more than any other race all year, at least.
Keep in mind, okay, a lot of these penalties. So I'm going to read off some of these penalties for you, okay? So these penalties,
Illegal pink color.
they,
Too bright of shade of pink.
they include things like EOL penalties, okay? So like emergency service in a closed pit. You've got 4.
Feels like that shouldn't be a penalty, honestly.
No, that's entering a closed pit, just like every other racing series.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a penalty. If your car's on fire, you should be able to go in the pit road.
God, okay. So I see we're just getting rid of a common motorsports rule altogether because
it's stupid. Yeah, no, because it's
Connor
stupid.
has decided in this one race there was too many penalties, so we should abolish it across all motorsports. Period.
Yeah, no, I think too many penalties is a turnoff. I think too many penalties in a college football game sucks. You're looking at this like swallow your whistle. Yeah, that happens.
So,
and this is one of the rare cases in racing where I'm like, swallow your damn whistle. 34 penalties is how many laps was the race? 70?
yeah.
Is there a penalty every other lap?
Listen,
I'm about to do my Tucker Carlson impression if you don't.
there's a pit speed
A
violation.
little nicer to me, Caleb
That
here.
doesn't happen either.
Keep going.
A lot of it was, people pitting after a repositioning penalty. So after they said, "Hey, you have to go to the back or whatever," and then you come and get service, they don't want you to do that. There was one for blocking. You've got, like I said, several for emergency service on pit road. Blah 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 blah. And actually, as I'm looking at this, hold on.
Did you screw me on this? Did I just trash on IndyCar race control for a bunch of like pitting while the pit was closed penalties?
But yeah, kinda.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's because you don't listen.
I got IndyCar's back. They should know that. They got me.
Also, I'm gonna I fucked up real bad.
I hope so.
So,
Man,
hold on.
everybody's
this
on
point-
IndyCar's no-fly list now.
So I thought it was a 2-column deal, but now that I'm looking at it, it's actually only the 1 column, and the other column.
Was it 70? Was it 17 penalties instead of 34?
Yes.
Oh my fucking god, Caleb, you douchebag! I wouldn't have said a word. All right, apologies to IndyCar. You guys are elite again. You're way better than F1. We already knew that. Jesus Christ, Caleb.
But no, so you still have, but that's the thing is like a lot of them were because the IndyCar drivers were just kind of messy this weekend. You had the 8-car pile up.
That's the last race of the year. A lot of those guys are thinking like either I jump 2 spots in the standings or I stay the same.
It's a lot of
Yeah,
money.
That's how the
Spots,
points
man.
shook out, right? Like that usually happens. It typically does. Colton Herta usually gets the pole for the last race of the year. I don't know how else to say that. I think Caleb might be frozen. Oh, he's not frozen.
No, I'm not.
Caleb's yawning though.
I know.
Tired of hearing me talk. I agree. This has been like our best and worst episode. I hope you guys laughed
This is the last
because
one.
like that's my whole goal when I talk is to make people laugh. Not that I want to be a comedian, but I like making people laugh. It's something I like to do. Obviously, this has been an unorganized show. Caleb, screw off with that face. Don't assure me of my fears, okay?
Your eyes are gonna pop out of your head if you
No
get any
shit,
bigger than
Caleb.
that.
Damn. No, it was more of a quiet week on the asphalt side. We split the show. We knew this was going to be something that would happen a little bit, which is fine. I just hope you guys find it funny, find it enjoyable. Comment and let us know what parts you like, what parts you didn't. Okay, Caleb, I will give you the floor to talk, and then we got one more point, and we'll close out.
Just I like that it's like, well, it's been slow, so that's why we're unorganized. We talked for 15 minutes about Danica Patrick's tweets.
That
but
was
we-
important
Dude,
content.
that's like an on-brand thing for us to do. Like
You
I
still haven't-
looked at her Twitter feed before the Knoxville Nationals, so in July, and I was like, someday I'm just gonna have Noah or Josh go recap this. I swear to you, that popped in my head, and I waited for the point, and that was a good point to do it.
You're
Especially
also
on a show
talking.
where we had less to talk about.
You're talking to the two guys that spent 10 minutes on the podcast one time talking about Reed Sorensen and what could have and should have been.
Oh, fucking love Reed Sorensen.
Dude, me too, man.
Yeah.
Okay, we get back. So
Caleb, let us talk about our crushes, then you can talk about yours, okay?
you can talk about it when we've ended, and I can go get dinner. Like
I got dinner. I've had dinner sitting there since 8:20.
I know, and you're still going on about all this stupid ISU game day stuff and everything like that.
My full-time job, what helps us pay for the racing site is covering Iowa State football. And some people listen to this show from that. And I've met people through covering racing that ended up, Bob Vick, his daughter played at Iowa State, good friend of mine now.
From the point of
met him because
an
I
Iowa
tweeted
State fan,
about
I have-
racing. His daughter played women's basketball at Iowa State for a year.
I
I'm
have
sorry,
one word about your Cy-Hot game day experience. If you were an Iowa State fan,
You're asking me about mine?
sadness. No. I'm just gonna put one in your mouth. Sadness.
Yeah, no, that's when Iowa State loses the Cy-Hot game, the party goes away, and then when it's in Iowa City, you drive back for 2 hours in traffic, and everyone kind of parties, and it's fine. But it's like shit. This would be way cooler if we were all partying in the tailgate.
It's sad drinking, not happy drinking.
Yeah, no, and I was watching the World 100, watching for Bobby Pierce, and I cannot wait to get my rant off that I'm going to do on the Dirt Show about their format. And there's 3 established drivers that should have been in a 100-lap race. Take everyone off the track, everyone else off the track. Anyways, Caleb. Oh, Noah has a cat. Cool.
Yeah, she was in front of my monitor for like 2 minutes.
All right, we got to talk about where Iowa Speedway is going to end up on the IndyCar schedule. I've reached out to some of my friends not affiliated with IndyCar. Probably should do that at some point. Yeah, that's a text I got to send in a bit. I have no idea where Iowa is going to shake out on the schedule. IndyCar has not announced their plans, but it's very evident Nashville is moving to the season finale. They're moving out of the time slot or the weekend slot due to the Olympics of middle August and stuff. And I assume NASCAR has been the same way in the past, and I hate the Olympics. It sucks. It's a bunch of people watching a bunch of sports they don't ever watch just to say go USA. That's just my opinion on it. It doesn't give me much excitement to watch sports I don't watch regularly and people I don't know. No, there's some stuff I like. Speed skating was cool. I won't go through my list, but Iowa Speedway is going to move. That date is going to move. I fully don't believe that they will keep it there in the 3rd week of July for their IndyCar race, or their IndyCar doubleheader, I should say, at Iowa Speedway. They're contracted through 2025, I believe. And there is no doubt in my mind that Iowa Speedway will have 2 races next season. Where those end up, I don't know. Milwaukee's getting 1 date. The Indianapolis road course is losing their fall date, thank God. Might be my least favorite road course ever, honestly. To no fault of their own. It's just the oval is so iconic and everything you put on there is better. So where do you guys want to see Iowa end up?
My answer is like we could go like, oh God,
Right now,
yeah.
like
I think that that's actually not a bad answer.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I honestly
No, because you guys are going to speak it into existence. They're going to have the Iowa Speedway IndyCar race during the Cy-Hot game. That's what's going to happen out of this fucking episode.
that's not my problem.
I just don't want it to happen
I
when
just
it's a
want it
million
where
billion
it's
fucking degrees outside.
I can see June being a better date. I can see Iowa Speedway hosting a 4th of July party for the Iowa Speedway weekend. I think that would be
That kicks some ass, actually.
beneficial to all parties, honestly.
Make it a night race, though, for the love of God.
Yeah, I would really tab it for June. May in Iowa is still pretty spotty, and I do, trust me, I think that you should get the IndyCar season finale in before football season. Chase Elliott, while Caleb here says he's a black and gray, bullshit, talk you down, had a great point last year saying that we shouldn't even race on weekends that football's going. We should have this season wrapped up. Now, for NASCAR, that's way too many dates to adjust. IndyCar, fuck yeah. In the season, in the regular season, your whole points championship season, end it before the first week of football, or Sunday where there's not college football, and have it play into that. Then have off-season exhibition races if you want to in other countries or anywhere else. And I think that would benefit IndyCar a ton. Especially the championship was locked up. So that, first off, that is why I wasn't tuning into the IndyCar race. I did feel sick on Sunday. So thanks for making fun of me for feeling sick and taking a personal day, Caleb. That's very nice of you. Still worked a little bit, still tweeted a bit. Caleb is unmoved by this, trying to market too. But yeah, I legitimately think IndyCar should be done before then. And I believe the only 5 weekends, if I could put 5 weekends in a stretch and say like it will be somewhere in this range where we see Iowa host their IndyCar doubleheader, it'll be from the first weekend of June to the first weekend of July. That's my prediction. That's my uninformed prediction. I'm not reporting that.
It just has to be a night race.
I wish both of them were night races.
As somebody who has gone to, and obviously you guys also have, but, I don't live in Iowa. So outsider perspective, as somebody who has gone there the last 2 years, it's really hard for me to go up north in the United States and go, man, it's still fucking hot. But golly, man, Iowa Speedway in the middle of July in the heat of the day is fucking hot.
Yeah, and they do that for TV ratings.
Boo.
I agree.
I get it, but
I think you should make more of the Sunday night primetime slot because everyone's getting ready for the week,
especially before football season.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Afternoon race Saturday, but have your Sunday race be a night race. Like that's cool. Iowa Speedway looks great at night. Ovals, IndyCars, and night races have this magical effect when they come together. But yeah, that would be something I'm looking for with the IndyCar schedule release and stuff. I just hope it's not like if they do like the weekend that a big sprint car series, not necessarily the World of Outlaws, but if they do a big weekend where the sprint cars are at Knoxville, it's like the National League, not just weekly series or whatever. But if they wind up having it the same weekend, I'm going to be pissed off. ARC has done that, and it's like, dude, this sucks. Like there's, you could have done any other weekend. You had the World of Outlaws in town, and you chose to race Iowa Speedway this Saturday. Like that just sucks. And it also stinks because Knoxville's not going to take off for the ARCA race or the truck race at Iowa Speedway. Maybe in a different world they could, but it just isn't happening today. So I just hope it doesn't conflict with something. But we will be at the Iowa IndyCar event no matter what day it is, as long as it's not during the Knoxville Nationals, quite honestly. That's my second favorite event of the year. And it is an extremely cool product and an extremely cool event they hosted this year. So I can't wait to see what it turns into and what weekend we get it on.
Hopefully it turns into a NASCAR weekend at some point too. I'm not gonna be happy until that happens.
Oh, do you want me to say it again?
Say what again?
Fuck NASCAR for buying Iowa Speedway and not putting their fucking races there.
Yeah, there you go. That thing.
The dirt fans that put up with me enough to listen to this entire fucking show, along with the IndyCar officials that got halfway through it and said, holy fuck, this dude's a dick to all their buddies, and then came back and said, my apologies, he's got our back. To all you guys, love you. Appreciate you.
Also, Parker Kligerman made the Xfinity playoffs. God bless.
Oh, fuck you. I'm so pissed that Brett Moffitt didn't make it. I'm so pissed. Dude, I cheer for the guys from Iowa so damn hard. And it's not for any reason other than that. Like, Caleb, don't what me like that. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows they're from Iowa. Like, that's cool in one thing. Like, Mike Lynette played hockey. Like, I love that about him. I play hockey. Like, that was cool in the first part. Brett Moffitt walked up to me with 2 cans of Bud Light and then came into the media center double fisting again with a third one in his pocket of 3 vehicles of delivering the beer to your mouth that were different than the ones he double fisted in when I met him on the tarmac in the paddock.
In the paddock.
Look at me. Look at me. Here we go.
Oh, man. Pinky out.
Oh. All right, Caleb, are we good? Caleb has been just sighing at us, so I feel like I should give him room to talk here for the last 30 seconds.
Oh God, please. I'm good.
All right. Well, thank you guys. This has been episode 146 or something like that of the Always Race Day podcast, again, presented by the Karl Auto Group. Appreciate all you guys for sticking through this one. I promise you the next one will be electric because I'll actually be able to watch some races. We'll be able to talk about the Bristol night race. We'll be able to talk about some other stuff that goes on over this weekend. And I cannot wait to see what hits the record from Tuesday to Friday. So appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of your week. And Iowa State's going to smack Ohio by 30 points. We'll do that. Cool. Appreciate y'all.